Hello there. There's been a lot of talk recently about wet weather has impacted farms across the UK, particularly with the spread of the Phoma disease upon oilseed rape across southern Britain. And the mild and wet conditions that we've seen so far this autumn have really been ideal for the spread of this disease, which is estimated to cost the farming industry over £100 million every season. So it's really a big deal. And the best way to treat it is by spraying a fungicide. So make sure you stay tuned in the video to get a heads up on our spraying index for this week. Another impact that this wet weather has had is it's delayed drilling, particularly across eastern counties, though much of the UK has been affected, with the soils being just too wet to do any sort of work like that, with problems in drilling, also lifting potatoes, harvesting maize, really delaying processes across many farms in the UK. The best thing to do when there's weather like this is get in touch with our forecasters who really know the weather inside out and can help you make important decisions. They're available from 6 AM till 6 PM every day. Just call the number 09065 777675 and they'll be happy to help you out. Now let's take a look at the forecast for the rest of the week. This is the jet stream currently over northern Britain with a little cut-off area over southwestern Europe. So that's providing some quite unsettled conditions down there, as you'll see later. But as we head later into the week, the jet stream kind of moving southwards and staying quite active as well, with those red colours indicating quite strong winds high up in the atmosphere, continuing to bring us unsettled weather. So let's have a look at the pressure pattern at the moment. So we've currently got low pressure over southwestern Europe, bringing quite unsettled conditions down here. As you can see, a lot of rain over eastern Spain, southern France, up to 100 millimetres of rain expected in some places. However, elsewhere, we've got high pressure ridging across much of Britain, keeping conditions nice and settled, dry, with plenty of spells of sunshine, only the odd spot of rain in northern and western parts. As we head into Wednesday, with high pressure lingering across southern Britain, could be quite a cold start with some frost and perhaps some mist and fog patches around, so that's something to bear in mind. Otherwise, we've got this low pressure here, which will bring an area of rain into southeastern parts of the country, as you can see here, and another area of low pressure out to the northwest here, bringing a cold front across the UK. So quite a wet day for many places on Wednesday, and breezy as well, particularly near the centre of the low pressure where the isobars are closest together. Now looking into Thursday, we've still got the remainder of those fronts sort of lingering across central and eastern parts of Britain. So again, a fairly wet day expected with showery rain elsewhere, low pressure still in charge of our conditions, keeping things rather unsettled. And now into the weekend, onto Friday, this is where the real story comes in. We've got an area of low pressure to the southwest of Britain, which is going to bring us some spells of rain over the next few days. So you can see, as we put that into motion, lots of rain expected over Wales and parts of England, particularly as we head into the weekend. There's a lot of uncertainty surrounding this story, however, with how this area of low pressure clears on Saturday. This is one model's idea, clearing the sort of low pressure, the areas of rain to the south, allowing a dry and bright day across the country for many places, with only a few showers and a few longer spells of rain up in the northwest here. So that's one idea of what could happen towards the weekend. Another idea, another model, is going for keeping that sort of low pressure, that front trailing across the country, bringing quite persistent, quite heavy rain to parts of Wales, Britain, southern Scotland. Heavy at times across high ground, up to 100 millimetres possible over the higher ground, and potentially turning wintry here as well. So definitely want to watch out for, keep in touch with the forecast to see how the weekend weather plays out. As well, that's important is the spraying conditions over the next few days. So the green colours indicating ideal spraying conditions. So you can see lots of green across southern Britain in the first few days, so great time for spraying. But as that rain comes in sort of midweek onto Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, less of the green colours, and particularly onto Friday, where we don't see many green colours across the map. But by the end of the week, those green colours across southern Britain again, so you're back to ideal spraying conditions. But again, one to get in touch with our forecasters about for sure. Now, if you're out doing some spraying, a great thing to have with you is WQRadar. You can get this installed on your phone, and it shows you the rainfall radar across the UK. Also shows you interesting things like weather observations, lightning alerts, so it's a really useful tool, particularly when you're out in the field. Now for today, we're doing a special discount, so if you use the discount FARM40 when you sign up via WQRadar.co.uk, you'll get nearly 50% off, so we're doing that as a price for £25 for your first year's subscription. Now let's take a look at the ensemble forecasts for the rest of the week. So this is the potential water gain. So as you can see, this is for Birmingham. Quite wet weather expected into the weekend and further ahead. But at the start, with that high pressure still sort of remaining in control, we're staying drier. A few spells of rain expected sort of Thursday, but into Friday and Saturday, well, that's when the real rain arrives. And some models going for quite great totals with that, and lots of differences on the timings of that rain as well. So definitely want to keep an eye on the forecast for. You can see that highlighted in the rain ensemble as well. A few spells of rain Wednesday, Thursday, before that real rain arrives Friday, Saturday into the weekend, with the pressure showing that as well. High pressure around to start, but dropping as low pressure brings rain into the rest of the weekend. And looking further ahead, looks to remain unsettled. Pressure, not really any great trends for high or particularly low pressure. So an unsettled theme continuing really. Now let's take a look at the monthly forecast. So we've actually got higher than normal pressure expected as we head into the last part of October and the start of November. This tending to sort of promote more settled conditions, though we can still see some spells of rain. And across Europe, we're actually expecting close to average or much cooler than average temperatures as cooler air is drawn down from the north with circulating around that area of high pressure. So potentially some below average temperatures expected. Also, with that high pressure in charge, we're looking at drier than average conditions as well. Though there will still be a few spells of rain, it will be drier than normal for the time of year, with those brown colours indicating those conditions. Only a few areas with wetter than average conditions shown by those green parts on the map. As we head into week 3, it's a much similar story. We've still got higher than average pressure persisting across these parts of Europe, shown by those red colours there. And that's continuing to have the same kind of effects. So we're still seeing below average temperatures across much of Europe and still seeing those dry conditions prevailing, particularly in the north and west, with only a few green patches on southern parts of Europe as well. And still, as we head into week 4, that higher than average pressure persisting to show signals for that across northwestern parts of Europe. And again, having the same kind of effects. Still expecting cooler than average, perhaps slightly closer to average temperatures as we head into week 4, with those drier conditions across much of Europe, although the signal is not as strong as we head into week 4. So let's summarise that. So for the rest of the week, after this brief ridge of high pressure, it will continue to be unsettled with frequent spells of rain, potentially heavy towards the weekend as well. So do watch out for that and keep in touch with the forecast. Over the next few weeks, with that high pressure tending to dominate, we could see brief ridges of high pressure, though still a few spells of rain. But as always with high pressure, that does bring the risk of a few chillier nights with some frost and some mist and fog possible. Conditions will tend to be drier and slightly cooler than average as we head into November. So thanks so much for watching this week's WQ Farming Forecast. As always, we'd love to hear from you, so please get in touch with us, info@weatherquest.co.uk, or use the hashtag WQ Farming Forecast. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, and leave us a comment below. Thanks so much for watching.